How hard is it to let go of the past? For the past years, I've developed a need to grow up and leave behind awkward memories and bad experiences of my life to overall come off as a better person. But then, if I leave all of that behind me, would I still be who I am right now? And to think there was a time that my biggest worry was to find all of the points on Island Flyover. Man, do I love Wii Sports Resort with all of my heart. To think that it has been more than 15 years since my first victory at swordplay, it's surprisingly weird to see how fast time flies by. The fine line that this game walks on when it comes between simplicity and magic is admirable, and it makes you wonder, will we ever get to see something at the likes of this? Craziest part of this is I get the memories as if it was yesterday. I was sitting on the couch playing that one swordplay mode where you walk around the whole island and even go inside the volcano at some point. Or how intense a table tennis match could get, that it was just the bouncing of the ball going back and forth, the only sound playing over and over. I'm surprised I haven't realized this earlier, but they didn't have to go all out for a simple tech demo. But that's the magic, isn't it? As a kid, I didn't have that many experiences of inviting friends over to my house to play games. My house really wasn't the hang around spot. With this being said, I had this game almost all to myself since I still have a sister who I could enjoy this game with. But what if she didn't feel like playing? Well, at that case, it was just me and 12 sports. And honestly, I sometimes even prefer it that way. I think of Wii Sports Resort and I think of simpler times of my life. Times where I learned how to be alone because I didn't need to be somebody or act in a different way to be on this island. I could literally just be me. I feel such warm on my heart when I remember those endless afternoons where I discovered all of the secrets Wuhu Island had to offer. One that I recall a lot is trying to get to the final round of swordplay to see if the arena actually shrunk down. The smile that I had when I saw how tiny the arena got and faking a match to make it exciting for me, even though it was just myself with two controllers, is something that only in those moments I could actually enjoy it at its fullest. But it's not the throwing people off an arena or flying an airplane that made me appreciate this game. Nowadays I realize it's the feeling of control I have over my character. In a remote island where you can play as yourself, there isn't a bigger emotion than freedom. And I feel like this game's purpose was fulfilled because of the reason it was actually made, to evolve the already amazing motion controller. When I felt like turning the sword in a way, it responded. When I wanted to take a left turn, it listened to me. This feeling of getting to control something with such precision was something magical to me. Given that I didn't have that many things I could control in my life, the thought of having this much freedom and such control of things I didn't picture myself of doing made me feel like I could do everything. I made my parents watch me play swordplay against my sister, or also made them watch me play the 3-point contest and score straight buckets, because I wanted to make them feel proud of me as something more than school, something I had more control over, something learned all by myself and made it through my experience. I don't know how to feel about how much time has passed. My sister and I don't have that much time to play together anymore. My parents for sure aren't going to be super proud of me beating a computer in a video game. Heck, I even sold my original Wii for something I wanted while growing up. Am I the only one that is still chained to these memories so badly? It's weird because I've been making myself the promise every year to be a bit more open and try to leave behind the past where it should be and don't live in it like a refugee seeking for a place where I can feel safe. Yet I sometimes fall into that position. I feel safe talking or thinking about this game for the reason that it was a time where I was being called a winner for my skills on a certain task. Granted, it wasn't the most complicated sport or game, but at least I got some recognition out of it. Today, even though I put a lot of effort into what I do and try to be the best person I could be every single day, I do not feel complete or totally proud of what I do. I feel like people overlook my work and my word is not taken seriously when spoken. And even though it isn't always the case, for me, the majority of time it is. Reality is, life is unfair, and well, you almost never get what you deserve. I'd be lying if that was the case though. If it is one thing that Wii Sports Resort left me that I never want to let go of, is keep on going, even in the adversities that happen through this thing called life. With Island Flyover, I see this message embedded into the 5 minutes it runs for. I see this sport and I think of life as itself. I think that we are thrown into this massive land, visiting the many parts that it can offer with the caution of going safely, because if we don't, we can get dethroned off our safe spot. With total freedom, we can wander off into the parts we have access to, from the most peaceful ones to the ones you never think of going, with the option of stopping at any time you want, but having every second matter when exploring. Isn't that just life? Don't we all just have limited time on this world, so that every second we don't explore feels misused, or that at some points we want to go parts we normally never think of going just to try something new? If this game has taught me anything, is that I must always keep exploring. Keep going if I have the courage to do so, and if not, a rest can always be used to slow things down and reflect on the past. And also how if any time we made a wrong turn or we crashed into a wall, there is no better option than to try again and embrace the mistakes we made and make sure we never do them again. My most cheerful moments were made on this game mode in specific. And I guarantee you that if it weren't for this game, Wii Sports Resort wouldn't have been one of my favorite games of all time. To think that I could travel for 5 minutes to this tropical paradise was something so impressive to me, and to see how much thought and dedication it went for it to feel this alive, I nowadays realize it wasn't just for the purpose of having an island, but to see how life works as itself. To explore, to rest, to encourage and embark on new places, and at some points even take detours you don't think you can come back from. And I will always be grateful for what this game brought to my life. And I don't think it's time to let go yet. And it will probably never be time for me to let go of the past. As weird as it sounds, letting the past be the past should be my way of thinking, but then again, it has been the past to what I am right now. I need to look into my mistakes and my goals to see what I should do for my future decisions in my life. To answer my initial question, it's near impossible for someone to let go of the past. I believe nobody ever really forgets what they did, but they rather hide it and pretend it never happened. But it is there. It will always be there and be occasionally reminded by your subconscious. Because for one to delete their past is to delete their future as well. If it weren't for my mistakes, my decisions, my recognitions, my wins and failures, who would I be? Would I be the same person I am right now? But that doesn't mean that my life should be attached to it. I shouldn't wait for somebody else to recognize my work and instead be proud that each day I try to live as much as I possibly can. I shouldn't live off the remains of what the past has to offer to me, and instead cherish those moments when they are brought up by somebody else and see them as a thought rather than a situation I would rather be living than the present. I don't know what the future holds for me, but the past has happened. It was good at some point, it was energy draining at others, but at the end of the day, it's my past, and I shouldn't live in it. Just like how at some point, I enjoyed Wii Sports Resort for the last time and took it out of my Nintendo Wii, without even knowing what future games would hold for me.